So hopefully everybody's happy. Good. Let's try that. Hello and welcome to Group C Game 4. We have Dimmy, Mr. X, Fredwood and Drakins. And I've got Peasant with me to help with some commentary. What do you think?
Greetings. Well, this top right's very nice with lots of god tiles, geotherms. There's not much silicon on the map, but there is some in the west, and it's got a bit of everything there, which is quite nice.
Yeah, there's a couple of good founds here, I think. Scientific, maybe robot, expansive, scavenger.
Robotic colony foundation.
Yeah, Dimmy's gone for the nice nomad.
He's going to struggle with electronics being that price. But it shouldn't be too bad. He's got easy access to what he needs. Fredwood went robotic on the god tiles, straight away upgraded. Excuse me. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Cheap chems as well, so you could get into a quick. I mean, the prices are awful.
Drakins, well, going to be a slow start for him, I think. Steel started low though, didn't it? So, surprised we haven't seen some expansives.
Yeah, especially on the god tiles, I think particularly good in that context.
Yeah, I like expansive, especially if everybody else can have robots. In Mr. X, well, I don't know, he hasn't really got any aluminium next to him. Water he's going to have to fight with Fredwood, so...
Well, he's got a little god. He has to have a little bit of aluminium.
Oh, yeah, he might scrape through it though.
Yes. Horrendous. Just noticing as well that the black market's got some nice stuff on it. Adrenaline boosts and briber claims.
Robotic colony expanded.
Yeah, I'd have been quite tempted maybe do some scavenger. There was a few decent little scavenger spots I noticed. I think that might have been better given glass is so cheap. Black market's so nice. Although with steel that cheap as well, maybe a elite. I might have liked to see an elite out of somebody.
I think we might see an elite in the last game. Just
there's core samples as well, so you've got a little bit of potential.
So Fredwood's first to the level up.
Yeah, I think Fredwood's gonna maybe not run away with it, but he's certainly going to be out ahead. I reckon he's going to be a one to beat. Mr. X. I don't know. I'd like Mr. X to succeed, but he's going to struggle, I think, with those electronics. I know he's going to make good money from electronics, but a little bit slow, just helping Fredwood and the other people who need electronics to upgrade.
So Drakins seems to be ignoring the robot adjacency bonus. Good.
Yeah, hasn't really got his claims. He's got them split, I suppose, because he doesn't want to get knocked out with any black markets, but iron is so cheap. Maybe he could change one of them into a little steel mill. That perhaps would be better for him.
Those god tiles are making serious money for Fredwood.
He is doing pretty well over there, isn't he?
It's just, nothing's very profitable, but those god tiles are.
He's got his electronics covered, so easy upgrade for him. Steel's still cheap. What's the off-world market looking like for him? He should probably go for an off-world market. Food looks like it'll be a decent launch. To me, going for...
Even steel looks decent, strangely.
Yeah, it won't be for very long though, once people start getting their upgrades.
So Mr. X has caught up to 3.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good. Getting some wind turbines up for his electric. Just get his... There we go. Get his electronics up and running. Need some water in, but water's still really cheap.
Food's looking fairly profitable, but it doesn't look like anyone's got into it yet.
Yeah, you could probably swap his electronics out for 2 food, make more money. Said and done.
On the other hand, yeah, there's nothing on the other hand. Oh, hello, Rahi.
Prices are so quiet, aren't they? The prices are dead. But Fredwood's got an upgrade if he wants to take it. Has he switched his steel mills off? Right, he's really trying to make every penny he can from his adrenaline-boosted geotherm.
And he's up to 4 now, but with no one really using the black market, I don't think it matters. I mean, even EMP, a circuit overload would be pretty horrible, but as power prices have started to creep up.
Yeah, that's the problem. Bits and pieces are all blobbed, aren't they? So one good EMP and everything's switched off. He's gone for a core sample, got himself some really nice water. She's lucky. Whenever I do that, I always get lows.
I've tried too many founds where I've ended up with thinking, oh, I've got core sample, great, I'll get what I need, and then they're just awful. But yeah, Fredwood stumbled into the night. Well, stumbled, very deliberate. The boosted goon squadded geotherm, which is always nice. It's always something to look for if you've got if you've got boosts on the black market.
Yeah, and pleasure domes as well.
Yes,
They're always good. Fredwood going for a patent lab. Leo would have thought that should have been optimization center rather than a patent lab.
I wonder what he's looking for.
Superconductor, really, and if he's feeling really brave, maybe Offworlds, but don't know, they're not looking hugely profitable at this point.
Yeah.
So what the best way for Fredwood to close this game out would be? Drakens is, well, back at the queue, unfortunately. HQ2, and he's going for a patent lab.
Well, he's going for carbon scrubbing, which is an odd choice given the low price of carbon.
And the fact he's got carbon coming in. And it's $7. That just slowed him down so much. He needs to be at 3 before even thinking about his patent lab.
Yeah, it's pretty horrendous. I mean, maybe those chems could have been okay on teleportation, because sometimes that's enough. Or even semiconductor might be enough, depending on how's his debt.
Yeah, anything but carbon scrubbing, I'd say.
Yeah.
Nice overload from Mr. X. Cost a little bit more to run those electronics and steel mills for Fredwood. Fredwood there, Mr. X up at HQ4, making good money off his power. Good bit of water coming in to run his food. In a reasonable position. Sell down his electronics, buy some glass up. $3 steel, that's crazy. What's going on?
There's a good thing for any newcomers who are watching this on the replay. If anything is ever below 10, it's almost always worth just shift clicking and buying 100 of them, because they will almost certainly make you money.
Well, steel especially, I mean, 1.8, somebody needs 1.8k Fredwoods to put an Offworld up. Just put an Offworld up. Steel's that cheap.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, he's got the money if he sold some stuff down. That's ridiculous. Everybody's still in steel, I'm guessing, even though it's so cheap. Mr. X has wisely moved out of it. And Dimmy, well, steel.
Dimmy's quietly doing okay in the corner, or, well, the Nomad.
Yeah, it's a shame he's not up at 5 already. I'd prefer to see that. Any patterns? Nope.
Yeah, it could probably do with getting into some more silicon, as it was easy for Dimmy, and obviously a building resource.
Yeah, he is pretty light on silicon.
He's still got 5 return of claims as well, so there's no reason not to, really.
Yeah, that could be shuffled around a little bit, I think.
I mean, he's going to need 480 silicon for the upgrade, so...
Yeah, best get on to producing some of that then.
Get on it.
Definitely.
New building is available for
Yeah, those
auction.
god tiles still making absolute crazy amounts of money for Fredwood.
Wow,
Revolting
that
colony
is nice.
expanded.
Mainly
Especially
aluminium.
just given the poor prices of everything generally this game.
Yeah, it has been dead as a doornail markets. Glass is probably about the most profitable thing. But then the price of the silicon to put into glass. Nope, that's unfortunately not profitable. Seems food is about the best. Aluminium or food need to be going off-world. I mean, food off-worlds were 34k launches, so if I was Fredwood, I'd definitely be thinking, how can I get an off-world market up, make some money?
And Mr. X is... he must be near the upgrade now, surely. Oh wow, it's costing so much.
Yeah, it's quite expensive aluminium price. And Mr. X, a little way off his upgrade.
So what's Fredwood doing with his extra claims?
Bunching them up, really.
The black
And look at that
market is
cheap,
online.
cheap black market.
Put a few...
So many fun things to do with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, why are people not pounding him with the EMPs? So cheap.
He thinks he's an old school scientist.
Yeah, a lot of people like to bunch everything up, which I definitely don't, but...
And it's got thinking machines, which I think that feels like game, but it's
Only if he builds off-world markets.
yeah. How much they cost things? Pretty cheap.
Yeah,
And food's a good launch at 43k.
it is a good
Okay,
launch.
finally
Revolting
EMPs
colony
are coming in.
The black market
Good,
is
we need to see a
online.
few more of those. Mr. X up at 5, very nice. Pretty standard expansive play, going back into some steel. There's 2 lonely electronics factories, I'd like to see another one there maybe. He's got he's got his passive lab boosted, but is he actually doing anything with it? No, that's not his, sorry.
A nomadic
This is-
HQ has been upgraded.
Who is that then? That's Fredwood? Nanotechnology.
The engineers
Nanotechnology,
advance our production.
always
New
good.
building is available for auction.
Oh, has
Yeah.
Fredwood got his pattern at the base? Yeah.
Yeah, over at Colony. Draken's still behind. Hasn't put anything where he's replaced his pattern lab, which could probably put down another steel mill there.
S-
We'll send him off to read DT's guide for new players.
He's in the same position I was when I first played my first Newcomers tournament. I'd subbed on the day and I'd barely knew any of the mechanisms of the game, and it was pretty grueling.
Yes, fair play to all the players for playing and letting us critique them. We were definitely all that bad at one point.
Time to start improving everything.
Although,
So
yeah, they've all done well though.
So what's Mr. So Mr. X has got a fair amount of cash. He's got the most cash.
He has, but he's not really, well, apart from the off-worlds going up, he's not doing a huge amount with it. Food is ridiculous launch though, look at that, 46k profit. So, that's definitely worth putting up, but I think he needs to get another one up if he can.
Well, I managed to accidentally exit the game while in Charts and Grass. But optimizations, there's been one optimization so far in this game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose it's Sol 6 now, we're just coming in the morning with Sol 6, so... I mean, Fredwood's got 2 optimization centres down, but it's difficult to see really what he's going to optimise. None of his markets seem largely profitable. Whereas Mr. X seems to be ticking along reasonably nicely with his Offworld.
Hmm.
We're not surprised.
Another
just
one
disappointed
would
in
be
you.
good for
Our
him, I
methods
think.
continue to improve.
He's definitely got the money for it if he wanted to. He needs to get rid of his glass, it's not doing anything for him. So, potentially equal. I say Mr. X has probably just got the upper hand, because he has
Offworld
got
shipment launched.
a reasonable pleasure dome, given the profits, and the off-world market, which he does need to keep protected. So,
I am very unimpressed with myself. Managed to exit from charts and graphs, so I'll try and say things based on watching the stream.
Hard to come by land claim
yeah,
Oh.
that's always good.
Professionalism.
Hey, I did it, yeah, I've done it, so don't worry about it. Timmy seems to be quite quiet in the back, boosted up his elemental quarries at long last. I think he probably could have committed to a little bit more silicon this game.
I mean, it's still at 160. That's
Yeah,
must be the most profitable thing on the map.
I would imagine if he had to try
By
and go
miles.
that. But not having the silicon really delayed his upgrades massively. Can definitely rotate out of these.
And he could have not even sold silicon and just turned that silicon into glass for some handy profits and a leg up into the off-world, the world of off-worlds.
yeah, he could easily be racing for off-worlds this game if he played it right, I think. And Fredwood, well, he's gone, I think, quite heavily into some optimizations, but he doesn't really seem to make that much money. Mr. X is definitely ahead in cash terms, stock terms, and he's got an off-world up. Whereas Fred is just going to be optimising, well, really electronics. I mean, Chem's price is dropping away quite a lot.
Is online. Let the planned obsolescence
Interesting. Dimmy's making his move on Mr. X.
Yeah, is he going to be able to follow it up though? Making okay money.
The thing is, by buying into Mr. X, he can then wait for Mr. X to buy some of him and then sell, make a little bit of money. But the trouble is now those two are going to be locking horns, which might give Fredwood the space to get back in.
Yeah, Fredwood's got an off-world market coming up somewhere. Where is that hiding?
Baltic colony expanded.
There it is. So it's a little bit late, but late than never, I suppose. So if Mr. X gets distracted by Timmy enough, maybe Fred could come and steal the game, because Mr. X has got no choice but to buy into Dimmy, get his stock back. So I think get those two shares pretty quick. They'll play the game of
The
stocks.
engineers have advanced our production.
Yeah, Fred's optimisation, he's got 3 optimisation centres, but I don't think they're going to be enough.
I think those pleasure domes have been making serious money for Mr. X, because
Yeah.
he's the only person in them. I'm guessing if he's got 2, he must have virtual reality as well, and that's just a lot of money in a
The off-world market
fairly
has
poor price game.
Optimization
Yeah, he
routine
doesn't have virtual
successful.
reality,
A new
but
claim is available for option.
there's 300, make about 270 net off him, so reasonably good. But Mr. X should be, well, maybe going to be a little bit closer than it should be. Stimmy. I mean, not making great money. Has Stimmy got any optimizations? Yeah, oxygen and glass. Which a little bit helpful. Oxygen is high and glass is high, so reasonably good. Ticking along quite nicely. Though I kind of think it is an off-world game with 53k launches for food. I think everybody should be ultimately looking at off-worlds.
Yeah, that's
Mr. X moving into a
Baltic
hacker
colony
array,
expanded.
which should be an Offworld, really.
Though the steel price is ridiculous. But
Mr. X has got 800 steel, though.
hmm.
A lot of these players do seem to like to stockpile stuff. Which, apart from Dilly, who's also selling everything, which probably is the way to do it for him. But definitely,
It's certainly simpler. It's certainly easier to keep track of what's going on when you're auto-selling everything.
there we go, Fredwood's majority buys Drakens. We obviously got a little bit distracted
Ooh.
there, didn't we? Didn't see that.
Yeah. Interesting.
The black market
It's going to
is
give him a boost to
online.
his stock price.
We caught a dirty rat trying to break our
He's
stuff.
got a second Offworld
Look at
market
all the
coming up.
money.
But look at that, 70k goons, 30k mutinies, 30k EMPs. I think Mr. X missed the trick when he didn't build the second Offworld.
Yeah.
But he's definitely getting pounded though, isn't he? Having his Offworld a second freeze in a row almost. That Offworld hasn't done a hell of a lot for Mr. X, unfortunately. Fredwood suddenly with this second Offworld looks a bit of a threat. I like the way he's also bought up shares in Drakens just to maximise his profits. And of course $50 stock price. Which when Mr. X and Dimmy are involved in their little head-to-head, I mean Fred's just steaming along quite nicely
Offworld
behind the
market is
scenes.
assembled. Our fortune awaits.
So the Dimmy Mr. X race, who's going to win that?
So was it a mistake for Dimmy to be so aggressive when he didn't have enough to finish the buy on Mr. X? Quite possibly.
I think so. I think unless you've got Offworlds, you need to really keep a low profile, maybe buy your own stock a little bit,
The engineers
and
have
just
advanced
try to
our
get two
production.
Offworlds up maybe. Now that at least the black market in this game is a little bit more realistically priced.
Yeah.
So
There's no 4.5k claims or anything.
no. And mutinies are really expensive, so stuff's not going to get mutinied away.
Our methods continue
I
to
think
improve.
Fredwood played the right strategy, but he was quite slow in getting it all together. Seemed to stall out just at the start of the final
The
phase.
black market is
So-
online. Off-world shipment launched. Look at
Somebody
all the
wanted
money.
a really expensive mutiny. I
Oof.
wonder who just bought that. That must have been Dimmy.
Oh dear.
Wow, that was a really expensive mutiny. Did he use it?
Interesting. I've just noticed Dimmy and Mr. X have got some debt issues as well,
They got some massive debt issues.
which could.
That's not going to do them any good. I suppose they're equally as bad, but Mr. X, well, Dimmy actually needs a little bit less money to take out Mr. X. Mr. X is going to need a little bit more. He's going to need 430k. But Fredwood is there just in the background, 400k. Those Offworlds are looking pretty good for him, I think. 55k food launches, and he's boosted one of his Offworlds that nobody else is contesting, unfortunately.
Yeah, looks. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, with the poor prices, with just rushing to the first Offworld. The thing is, trying to rush Offworlds is horrible without holograms. So I suppose that's the.
Yeah, that is the problem, isn't it? If you got the first Offworld up, you're immediately a target. So Fredwood basically can take his pick. He's going to have
look
to...
how much he's making so much money off Drakens as well.
Drakens,
Offworld,
yeah,
Offworld.
Drakens are right.
Look at all the money. Look at all the
Fred,
money.
who bought Mr. X? Fredwood bought Mr. X. Well, That was a bit of a
Ooh.
mistake, wasn't it? You
The
should have
black
bought
market
Dimmy.
is online.
Oh.
Wow.
Hmm.
That was a really unfortunate stock buy for Fredwood, I think. I think he should have snapped up
Yeah.
Dimmy to get his own stock back. That
Hmm,
was
but his superior price might be enough to do it, but
well, and his debt, I think.
hmm.
Although Dimmy just paid off a load of debt. So he needs 158. So Dimmy needs 900k, and Fredwood needs 700k as it stands.
Array is finished. Time to trigger passwords.
Offworld shipment launch.
Mr. X is going to give about 50-50 to both of them.
Look at all the money.
So they're going to be. It'll be an interesting race, actually. It's going to be a hell of a lot closer than it should have been.
Yeah.
Fredwood's just taken Dimmy out instead
Yeah,
of
that's
Mr. X.
It's another good rule of thumb for any newcomers who are watching this, is to buy the person who's got their stock, bought a lot of you, because you're just getting free stock.
Yes. That's exactly right. The game of stocks. It's very difficult to practice with the AI because the AI can't play the stock game, unfortunately. And even if you're doing quite badly, if you know how to play the stock game, then you've got a bit of an advantage. So
Yeah, you can sneak all kinds of wins.
The black market
exactly
is
where
online.
maybe you weren't making the most money at that kind of time. But Fredwood's,
We have a hard to come
wow,
by land claim.
I think Fredwood's going to have to take it just because he's.
Yeah, well, he's pulled ahead on cash.
Well, no, Drakens has got two
Our
off-world
hackers
markets
have
up
it on
now,
the
so
market.
Drakens will
All
vastly
the
improve
mass
as a sub
manipulation begins shortly.
Yeah,
any moment now. I mean, with 50k launches, Drakens is going to be
Offworld
kicking out
shipment
2.5, 3k
Look
when
at
it's
all
fully
the
up and
money.
running. I would imagine. Well, it should be a bit more than that. Mr. X is also proving a good subsidiary for both of them, though, so they're getting 1,000 apiece. But Fredwood's going to clean this up pretty sharpish. Dimmy just. He's always making average money, I thought.
I think while he was in a kind of quite a low-key position, I think he was doing okay, just because there was no real attention on him, or certainly that's how it felt. He didn't look too scary. But I think the biggest mistake Dimmy made was neglecting to collect lots of silicon and slowing his own upgrades, and he could have been first to a lot of these things. That's what you'd expect from a Nomad.
Yeah, definitely right. It was the lack of silicon early but he had a solar panel there for a long time, didn't he? Next to his high silicon, which you need the silicon rather than the power. And Fredwood, well, that was solid by Fredwood. Nice textbook, almost maybe. It felt stalled out.
Textbook.
Well, the strategy anyway. Two off-worlds.
Yeah,
Classic strategy, I say.
yeah.
But
Yeah, he played solidly.
yeah, but he did stall a little bit at the beginning of the end game, I think.
And Dimmy and Mr. X's feud just played into his hands.
Exactly.
And Drakens, and someone should have picked up Drakens as well. Just
That's it. The nice sneaky pickup that really helped his stock price for Fredwood. To coast a little bit. Charts and graphs.
So Fredwood coasts his fourth win out of 4.
Yeah, strong performance for Fredwood.
You said he beat you the other day on ladder, on ranked.
Yeah, he's a really good contender, really good player. Look at that. He's a million off the Offworlds, and Mr. X 250,000. There's all those EMPs Fredwood had raining down on them. EMPs, yeah, poor old Mr. X. All from Fredwood. Sold 3, 4, 5.